people, and welcome back to Normski TV and the What's Going On podcast. Listen, if you're new, smash that like button, subscribe and share to the channel. Yes, we know YouTube is doing all this purging thing, and it ain't gonna put me off, mate. Listen, to be honest, I just love talking to people that are on the same kind of mindset as me, talking all things football. And yeah, we are gonna have a great time talking football today. It is absolutely baking at the moment. It's currently 33 degrees here in London. I've got the fan going. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. I've got it going. It's on a low, but you know what I mean? So I'll turn it high. You're going to probably hear it through the mic. But listen, it's been absolutely baking, tossing and turning and all of that, mate. It's been tough. But listen, we can't complain because when it gets cold, we complain. So listen, let's just enjoy the weather. Do you know what I mean? And I'm telling you, you want to also enjoy the next person that I'm going to be bringing on. And guys, wait for it, the drum roll. And I have with me all the way from the Windy City. I'm not going to get this right, man. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. But here we have Mr. Gianni Talks Count. Where you talking, my brother? You good?
All good, man. All
good, man. Good to have you on, man. It's been a long time. And yeah, listen, last night we was on DJ B's sharing the watch along. And listen, tell you what, the first game, England, mate, Ghana, I tell you, it was reminiscent of like watching Arsenal. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It really was. You saw Tuchel really going out. I mean, especially he was going at Jed Spence. They showed a couple of clips of him going at Jed Spence and that, but it just wasn't the football that I expected. Well, I say it wasn't the football I expected. I did expect it, but the pundits, journalists are bigging them up. And listen, if they play like that, mate, they ain't going to go very far. I'll tell you that now. But before we get into football, how you been doing, Gianni? Long time, bro.
Good, man. Good. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Just working and living right now.
So, I can see you ain't got the fan on in the background, so I know he ain't hot at the moment, but it's going to be hot next week.
What you guys got in London is coming to Chicago next week. So
yeah, man. Yeah. Does it get really, really hot, unbearably hot, or is it? Do you get like a breeze or anything like that?
We get a breeze because we're the Windy City. We always have a good
that's it. Known as the Windy City. Yeah,
right.
Well, I can forget.
But like we get the extremes. So like wintertime, it'll get as cold as -30 for 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks in Chicago. And then in the summertime, it'll be exactly the same thing that you guys got right now in London. Plus it'll be super humid too on top of it.
Yeah.
We get both.
Yeah. No, it's been crazy. I mean, and tomorrow I think it's going to be around 32, 33. I think maybe going up to 35. And like my son, he's playing in a 7-side competition at the weekend. And so I'm going to be taking him down. The family's going to go down and watch him. I'm supposedly meant to be the coach. So I'm going to put, you know what I mean? I'm going to be doing the hydration break. It's only like 15 minutes. Like no breaks. It's like 15 minutes.
Are you going to go on a zip up like Arteta?
Yeah, trying to get this, do the old zip up, mate. Do you know what I mean? But I think they said it's going to be around about 29. And my son was saying to me, Dad, how am I going to cope? I can't play in this heat, mate. I said, don't worry, we'll have the hydration break. My missus is getting all the bottles of waters ready and the old oranges ready. So looking forward to that. I think last year they got to the quarterfinals, went out on penalties. So we're trying to see if we can go a step further. So we'll try and get a little bit of footage and that. Listen, it's just a load of people getting together and just having a bit of fun. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing too serious. You know what I mean? At the end of it, you win a cup and that's it. So it's not like professional, semi-pro, nothing like that. It's just a lot of guys just coming together. So they did a draw. On YouTube. So there's 3 groups. So there's 12 teams. And then there's going to be the round robin and whoever wins their group, play this one and whatever, and then get to the quarterfinals and whatever. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm meant to be the so-called coach. You know what I mean? I was itching to get on the pitch, mate, but mate, my knees are gone. So I thought, leave that alone, man. Leave that alone. But listen, we are going to get into the show. But before we do, let's have a look and see who's in the chat. And big up to Gavin. Big up Normski. It's good to see you back, mate. Kawaja, I call him the Prez on the mods. Jude Bellingham somehow got player of the match versus Ghana today. Bro.
The ball boy for England should have got the ball.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how he got that, bro. You know what I mean? Kawaja just going and smash the like, subscribe to Normski along with the panel as well. And Gavin's just going back to Kawaja there. Let's just keep going through. Big up Gavin. Good afternoon, my man. And Quadras is saying welcome back and good afternoon to everyone and welcome back, lads. And big up to Martin, Tap man. Big up Normski.
Yeah,
and also got my guest on here, man. You got to big up Gianni as well. You got to big up Gianni, man. the real one. 5 likes up. Guys, come on, let's get those likes up. Keep smashing those likes, everyone. Gavin, big up to Martin. Martin Tap just saying big up to Gavin. And Martin Tap saying big up Gianni. Where's there? Let's go. And big up Gianni. And obviously, subscribe to Gianni's channel. You know, he's doing a great job over there. And Johnny just obviously big up to everyone. Granddad, what's this? Sorry. No, let me have a cup. Let me have a cup of Rosalie first. You know what I mean? It's this heat, man. Guys, it's the heat, man. It's the heat. We'll just read this again. Granada technical secretary Javier Alonso will leave the club to join Andrea Berta's technical team at Arsenal. Okay, we'll have a look at that. We'll see some changes going on there. Big up to Gianni TV, the legend. Welcome back, mate. Good afternoon, man.
Yeah, Kwaja.
This guy is everywhere, man. Yeah. Doctor, big up to man. Lots of Norms and Gianni and the chat. And Gavin just saying big up to Dr. Seymour. Subscribe to Dr. Seymour. Please go and subscribe to him. AFCP protagonists. And Dr. Seymour just going back to big up Gavin Kwaja and just stepping back to that. But yeah, we've got a lot to discuss, and I'll just say normally I talk about what I've got on the menu today, and we are going to be looking at the World Cup, your highs and lows. And listen, this one here, this is a real good one for us to discuss. Can Cape Verde keep the dream alive? And make it to the last round of 32. Listen, look, they've drawn 2 games. We've seen Ireland do it, a few years back. Mm-hmm. 90, was it 90? When did they do it? It was the 94, 96, 94 World Cup.
I think
when they pretty much drew all the games.
Yeah.
Went out in the quarterfinals, I think it was. Yeah, went out in the quarterfinals. So listen, can Cape Verde do that? We'll see what happens. Messi and Mbappe lighting up this World Cup. Another record broken as Messi becomes the all-time top scorer. How long will that be for, though? That's the big question. Yeah. And listen, he's got some unwanted records as well, Gianni. I don't know who that unwanted records are. He's missed 3 penalties.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 penalties in 3 World Cups. So listen, even though he's missed, he's the only one to be missing 3 penalties in 3 World Cups in a row. But listen, at the moment, this guy is a G. He's a GOAT. And there's Ronaldo over there. Frankie's lucky he started. He's got, is it Uzbekistan? Do you know what I mean? He was fighting to get that hat trick, mate. And he didn't even look happy when he was coming off the pitch. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens going forward. But we will be talking about them tonight. Let's just go down. Some more people just coming. So welcome back, mate. I've read those ones tonight. What's this one here? I've done that one. Right, I think I've done that one. Yeah, so let's get into it. So Gianni, we are going to look at the World Cup. How have you been enjoying it so far, mate? You know what I mean? How has it been for you?
Overall, I think the games have been pretty good.
Yeah,
we were talking about it yesterday on DJs. I think the refereeing has been exceptional. Outside of Konsa got away with murder yesterday with that hip-high tackle. I mean, that was definite. I was even just reading back on the Messi
incident with Algeria when they showed him raking. He's lucky to stay on. Yeah. They've come out and said, look, he should have been a red card. But these on-field decisions. And now, they're probably going to look at that Konsa one, because when I was watching it last night, I thought Konsa. The way it looked, because it happened quick, I thought Konsa got the ball when he actually did it. From the angle, I thought he got the ball. But when you've seen it, and they've just not looked at it at all. I was thinking, wow, do you know what I mean? But listen, England got away with it, but in terms of the football that they're playing, they didn't get away with it there, mate. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people are not happy with the way England are playing at this present moment. But we are going to just look at the World Cup standings. And obviously, we talk about Cape Verde. Yeah, let's talk about Cape Verde. I mean, look, 2 draws in a row against Spain. and then they end up drawing again, and a 2-2 draw. And I thought, what a game of football! Absolutely fantastic. Let me just go to the fixtures. But I bring up the table as well, just so you can see that the standings there. But yeah, Cape Verde. What was your take on them? And I mean, listen, because they are the minnows. You have to say they are the minnows, but they are playing well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, the game against Uruguay I thought was a very entertaining game. I'll be honest with you. I thought the Uruguay game was entertaining. The Spain game, listen, they had to dig deep and just get through that. But I thought they had a couple chances in the Spain game. If they play the exact same way that they did against Uruguay, I can't see how they can't beat Saudi Arabia. And
yeah, that's that really is. I mean, that group, that's
Group H.
That's Group H, isn't it? Yeah. So that how do you feel? Do you think there's a chance that they could? I mean, Spain slapped up Saudi Arabia. I mean, is there a chance that they can beat them? Have they got the quality to beat them?
Yeah, and I mean, you look at some of these other teams that are in third place. There's a lot of third place teams that only have 1 point. So, or if they can get a victory, they would jump Uruguay, because I don't see Uruguay beating Spain. So,
yeah,
I would love to see Cape Verde progress. Obviously, it sucks for me because Italy's not in the tournament. But we'll move from that nonsense. But overall, I thought the tournament's been very good, and you like seeing the underdogs do well in the World Cup. So I hope they do make it through.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, and that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, they have got a very good chance of going through, as you can see. In terms of the points, Spain are currently on 4 points. They do play Uruguay. That game. Spain should win that. I mean, they didn't start off well. Obviously, getting a draw, 0-0 draw, but they started to come into their own. So I do expect Spain in Group H to top that group. And yeah, I think Cape Verde could go through. I mean, we're looking at that. I mean, they could come second.
Yeah.
They could come second. Do you think that? I mean, listen, they're going to meet a tough opponent if they come second. But listen, you just don't know. As you say, the World Cup is special, and you remember Cameroon, with Roger
Cameroon,
Miller.
Was it 2002 when Turkey finished third?
Yeah, Turkey. We're Turkey now. Oh, mate.
Yeah, they're the flop of the tournament.
It's quite an embarrassment. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Because, with the players that they've got in there, I'm thinking, how on earth have they gone out so soon? Do you know what I mean? I think it's Turkey, Tunisia are out, and there's another team. I can't remember the other team. It's Turkey, Tunisia.
Senegal's got to pick up points, or else Senegal might go out too, because they're still on 0 points. And if Senegal, obviously that was a whole conundrum that Morocco was given the African Cup of Nations title, even though Senegal.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But for that, for a team that won the African Cup of Nations dead to rights and now is coming in here struggling is not a good look. Especially Senegal's got a ton of class players on that team. That'll be, if they don't make it out, that'll be a similar situation like with Turkey, where they will be a big time flop.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the the teams. So because obviously you got the last 32, the 8 that can possibly go through at the moment. I mean, so Mexico, we know. I mean, the teams that have made it through are Mexico, America, and America. Listen, I'm pleasantly surprised at America. They've been playing quite well. Obviously, Germany have gone through, France have gone through, and Argentina, obviously.
I think is it Colombia through to the next round as well?
Yeah, so Colombia. Where's Colombia? Because they won.
I think they've won both of their games so far. I think
they beat. Yeah, so they've beaten DR Congo, and they've beaten Uzbekistan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they got Portugal to decide who.
So they should. So so they've gone. Yeah, they've gone through. I think it's just a case of who comes top, because obviously if Portugal beat, because they haven't played Colombia yet, have they? If they beat Colombia, then they'll go through as group winners.
Yeah.
And if Colombia get a draw, or win, they will go through as group winners. Let me just bring in Big D, Mr. Guy. He's back with us in the house. Big up, Big D, man. What you saying?
Big up, D.
Bro, what you saying?
Good to have you. Good to have you back.
Put that camera.
Yeah, we're waiting for you to get your camera on, man. Yes, man.
Sir.
We are. You're in your Brazilian top.
You got the Seleção. The Seleção.
Ooh.
Man's in his Brazilian top. How you coping? Listen, Big D, how you coping with this weather, man? Jeez.
Oh, man. It's nuts, isn't it? There's no breeze. It's literally landlocked. We are landlocked.
I've got a fan right next to me, literally.
Yeah,
the cylindrical ones, mate. So I'm just getting a fine breeze at the moment. But bro, sleeping, it's a torment sleeping through this. Honestly, Gianni, mate, just like the air is still and just like nothing ain't happening. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's good to have you back, Big D, man. How you been doing, man? How you keeping, man?
Get in there, man. Get in there.
Yeah.
Got officially discharged from the hospital today after tests yesterday. So
brilliant.
So even though I've been home, but they
because I was surprised when you said to me, you're back at work. I was like, what?
I went to work today. I did one today just to break the ice and see how the body reacted, you know. So
No, I hear that, man. I'm glad to have you back, man. Because I say
in one traffic
for you to miss a show, we know, brother. It's either you're either on a cruise, or you're sick.
Right, literally.
But, you know what I'm trying to say. So listen, because even if you're in the next country and you can find a Wi-Fi link, you're on.
Link on it. I jump on.
But you ain't paying those cruise Wi-Fi things, man.
Right? Yeah, I know. Nah, that's a killer. That is. You have to wait till you have to go on shore. You have to wait till you get on shore to get Wi-Fi. You know the ones.
No, but big up. Dr. Seymour just saying, renting Kenny's room, man. Yeah, we tend to rent out Ken's rooms, you know, every now and again. You know, so Big D this week is renting it out. Yeah, it's costing my arm and a leg, but listen, he's got a nice grand piano behind there, a lovely fireplace and everything. So the house is looking good. You know, Kenny does. Big up to Kenny, man. He's got the best house, on YouTube. You know what I'm trying to say? He's got the best house on YouTube. Let me just go for the chat. Big up, Wahaha. Big up, man. Big up to you.
Yeah, man. Big up, man.
Colombia through to the last 32. Yeah, with victories over DR Congo and Uzbekistan. Let's get it right. Uzbekistan, indeed. It's a mouthful. And Martin Tap just saying, big up to you, Big D.
Yes, Martin. Big up yourself, man.
Just putting in Waha's chat there. And Gavin saying evening Waha, and as ever Waha always on it. And just to say support Norm Sren in the battle with cancer. Yep, we've been in touch on WhatsApp and that he's still having his treatment, and I think he's due to come over the latter part of this year. So hopefully I want to be able to touch base with him. But the treatment, you know what I mean, it's hard because obviously when you're going through that kind of thing, he actually shared with me. He's asking for his other eyebrow back because he's obviously lost one eyebrow. So he's jokingly just said, like, I need to get the second eyebrow. He's like, get rid of it. So he's got one eyebrow and it's like that. So listen, he's finding joys and jokes in that. But big up to my mate Chris, man. Big up to him every time. Cheers, Kawaja. Hey, Gavin. Dr. Seymour just saying, hey, Waha. Big up, Waha. No worries, my man. Good afternoon. And it's not DR Congo, it's Dr. Congo. Okay, my man. It's Dr. Yeah, man. Yeah, how could I miss that, man? How could I miss that? And those treatments take everything. Yeah, definitely. It does. You know what I mean? So prayers going up for him. It's always Dr. Congo, never DR. Seymour sounds underbelly. Okay, right. We get it. But listen, let's get back into it. So listen, D, we were just going over the World Cup, and again, I suppose how's it been for you? Obviously your team Brazil, they play later on today against Scotland.
Man, it's a big game.
Yeah, and listen, talk about Scotland. They should have buried 80 with more goals, and this is where could they come unstuck? This is the question. What do you think, guys? I mean, with Scotland in that group. What is it? Group
C.
Group C. Yeah. As you see, Brazil on 4 points.
Morocco.
Do you think? I mean, some people are saying there's possibly that it could be a draw.
I think that's how we called the group, though. No, how it currently is now. I think
yeah. That's when we did the thing. Yeah. I know you took some screenshots. I didn't
finish that. No,
Yeah,
because remember I got sick in it, and then it was just
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
hospital man. And all that. So
probably, yeah. So listen,
like, bro,
that's besides the.
Yeah,
but yeah. So Group C, Brazil, obviously, if they beat Scotland, they go through as group winners. Morocco should beat 80.
Oh yeah,
and then it's. So Scotland, I think we said Scotland going through. I think when we did the thing, the predicting thing, we said that Scotland would go through as the last 8, the best 8. I mean, if they get a draw, it means Brazil will be on 5 points and Morocco might likely win the group. So it'll be Brazil coming through second. So how do you feel about that? Because if Brazil comes second, they're gonna face a tougher opponent. I mean, they haven't been brilliant. Do you know what I mean? So
you see, for whatever reason, it's like he's holding back some of them youngsters, like Hendricks. I want to see Hendricks get some better minutes. Like there was a point where he could have taken Casemiro off and rested him, and he left him on, and I'm like, what's he doing here? Because remember, Casemiro can't play back-to-back games for us in the Premier League. Obviously, I know the Premier League is tougher, but the moment you're winning, you get to 70 minutes, you tug him. You just tug him. It's just common sense. If that's your talisman in terms of middle of the park and stuff, like going forward, he might come and stop with this. With the way he's selected, I think you've got to get some of them younger legs on the pitch and just stretch some teams. You know what I mean? Especially like the Scotland game now, because Scotland will be up for this. I tell you that for nothing, man.
Oh
because they're just going to roll the dice on them. So
what's their head to head with Brazil? Is there a head to head? Do you know what is there?
Let me check. I'll check it out to see if they.
I mean, it's like Ghana. We've only played them twice competitively. Right. You know what I mean? And with both games we drew. we drew with them in 2011. It was a 1-1 draw. I can't remember who got the equaliser. It was like a last minute thing. I think it was it Andrew? I can't remember who it was. I don't know if anybody could check it out in the chat. That was back in 2011 at Wembley.
Head to heads.
And then obviously recent one which was we can talk about that while we're doing it. Gianni, talk to me. Watching that England game, it was defense against attack with no purpose. Yeah. Noddy Madueke, why on earth Tuchel decides to move him across to the other side? You take him off and bring on Rashford, because Rashford's come on in the 82nd minute. You know, Declan Rice, you know, we'll get onto that later on, because I want to kind of talk about the situation with his injuries. I don't want to go too much into his injuries, but in terms of how the team, there was no real. When we was watching Panama yesterday, compared to England and Ghana, it was just like Panama and Croatia. I mean, Panama. Listen, they lose 1-0, scruffy goal. Yeah, but the way they move the ball, you could see the patterns of play. Their counter press is ridiculous, and you know, we was kind of saying yesterday on DJB, are they going to be able to keep that pace up? They're pretty fit side. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, they've done well in the American. You know, when they play in like the qualifying rounds and stuff like that. I mean, they slapped up. Who's it? There was a team they slapped up really bad.
In the qualifiers,
yeah.
I think it was Jamaica.
Was it Jamaica, wasn't it? I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it because of my parents and, you know, the Jamaican and all that. But yeah, it was Jamaica now, if I remember rightly. But yeah, I mean, what was your thoughts on the game, both of you, if you both watched it? First of all, Gianni, what was your thoughts on the game? And, you know, how far do you think England will, you know, go in this competition? Because from what I'm seeing, you looked at that Croatia game. Yes, second half, they came out there, the Rocky put up them. But for what I saw yesterday, didn't really give me any sort of like confidence going forward.
No, not at all. I mean, personally, at this point, I don't know why you're not even. I would have even tried Harry Kane in the 10 and put Tony or Watkins up as the striker, have Rashford on the right and have Rodgers on the left, and just say, screw it, let's just go all out and attack. And if we're going to leave these guys behind to cover the back line, then it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen, as far as the game, I honestly don't see any difference between that game in particular. I didn't see any difference between a Southgate team and a Tuchel team in that game. If I'm being
right,
same exact pragmatic approach. Oh, we'll throw everything in the kitchen sink at him if we haven't scored in the last 10 minutes.
And that's what we saw. We saw that. Which is you can't. That's not a sustainable way of playing, especially when you get to this level. You can't do that. You can't just. They thought they could just probably rock up and just say, "Oh yes, Ghana." Well, the last time you played them, you drew 1-1. Now you're in a real. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
If you look at it,
it's just a track record. It's just I forgot who. One of my friends we were talking about when we watched the first game with England, and it was like the second half of the first game. It's like, where has this been for years from England? Of just taking the initiative and just go after in the attack. Like when England played Italy in the Euro final, England got their goal early, and all they did was sit back and defend. There was no initiative to try to punch Italy out and go get a second goal.
Johnny, who does that remind you of? What team does that remind you of?
Arsenal. But and that's kind of like where my point is. We said it yesterday. This England team is playing exactly like a Premier League side.
Yeah.
With all the bad football that we saw last year throughout the Premier League.
Yeah.
And it's the sad thing for England. It's not only, having pride for England and anything else, but it's also a point of you're displaying the best league in the world, and this is the product that you're giving. I'm sorry, that's not acceptable. You know what I mean? So for me, I think Tuchel's got to shape up with what he's doing. If you guys get second place in the group, I think we were talking about this yesterday. Like somehow if Croatia or Ghana win and England draws Panama and doesn't end up winning, I think it could end up being to where like England plays the United States on 4th of July.
Whoa.
Oh, for real.
Yeah.
Independence Day, man. Judgment Day.
Yeah,
this is the 250th anniversary for the United States. So it's like
I'll tell you now, Gianni, they will be up for it. America will be up for it, mate.
I've never seen what I'm seeing in the U.S. right now for this national team. I've never seen this big of a fan base turnout. You've got watch parties of over 10,000 people in so many major cities. It's absolutely insane. But as far as England, I think there needs to be some changes made. I think Mr. Tuchel needs to take out Rice and try putting Stones in that defensive midfield position for a game just to give Rice a break, not only as an Arsenal fan, but as an England fan as well.
Yeah.
If Rice can't run, if Rice isn't going to go, England's not going far. If they catch a decent team and they play like they did against Ghana, it's going to be a very short knockout stage for England World Cup.
I mean, Deep, to just coming here, I mean, again, yesterday, when I just kind of make reference to when I was watching England yesterday, I didn't see no creativity whatsoever.
Right. This is what I was going to come to.
Yeah.
Right.
And just them wasting their time taking Jordan Henderson over there, which they ain't going to play. He ain't going to play. Yeah.
No, he's not. It's just a shot.
Just a waste of space. I'm sorry, it's a waste of space. But go ahead, Deep. Obviously.
And he took too long with the subs as well. You bring Radford on in the 70-something minute.
I think it was later than that. I think it was the 82nd minute.
Was it later than that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
because what it was, I switched from the TV to the radio in the car, so I wasn't kind of focused on the timing of when, like, when you watch it on TV, you can see the clock. I'm driving, and I for me, I'm like, bro, you need a goal here. Switch it up. Like, I'm even taking Kane off and putting Ivan Toney on. Like, if you look at the ratings, Kane had a 3.5 rating for that game, Norms.
Yeah.
3.5.
Yeah.
No, now, like, every striker has a bad game, so I'm not going to knock him for that. But when you bring a squad, use your squad.
Yep. You got Ivan Toney there, Ollie Watkins. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because one thing,
Rashford, Kobe Manu can create from that 8 position.
Is he gonna? Yeah, but why is he that he's not starting? Why?
No minutes. This is what I'm saying. The second half of the season, after our guy gets fired, old Ruben, Kobe comes in and has an absolute blinder of the second half of the season. Hence why he's on the plane for the World Cup. and nothing. 2 games and nothing, not a sniff. So Ethan is probably thinking, I might as well just come to America myself and just do my promotions and make bare money, and then go back early to Old Trafford and start doing my preseason training. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it as a player. And I'm thinking, come on, bro. Just there you go. Walton being
yeah. Well, you're right there, man. Yeah,
exactly. This is what I'm saying. So this is his decision. He said he's going to die on his decisions. He made them calls. I watched the interview with Slabhead, and he was saying that he actually FaceTimed them all one by one, the ones that weren't going, and he said it was right awkward. Of course it is if you ain't going.
Yeah,
that FaceTime is an awkward FaceTime. But he's rolled his dice on this, and I'm saying use your squad, bro. Use your squad, because a lot of these players were probably a little bit fatigued from the Premier League norm.
Yeah,
and they're trying to you're just trying to reboot their mental and their body to go again for the World Cup.
Yeah.
So I don't think players would feel a way if they got tugged after 65 minutes to go again to start the next game. I don't think players would mind that, because if you're winning, no one minds how you win. And he's allowed 5 subs. Like, just make it more creative when you make the subs. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the 2 mistakes, the mistake by Konza, that's definitely a penalty for me.
That's a penalty.
100%. And Pickford, Pickford one as well. Very
good. But guys, what's your thoughts on that? Because when you first see it again, it looked like Pickford running to him, but when you look, it's like when the guy runs, he kind of turns his body into him. So that's why I think he got away with it. Because at first, when you see it in real time, so it's a different one to call. But again, why is Pickford running out when these 2
he's always got that in him, Norm.
He's always got that in him.
He's got that panic merchant thing in him all the time. He's just like, bro, why are you running out to do that madness? And then he's looking all confused, like, what did I do wrong? Bro, come on, man, stop that. You're a seasoned pro, man. This is not your first rodeo at a big competition. This is going to be his 5th competition as England #1, right? At least.
Yeah.
Right, between Euros and World Cups. I just think, they got away with one. And I think, because even afterwards, they were saying that, the referee or the pundits were saying he should have gone to the screen. But you have to remember, when it comes to viewership, right, certain teams have to qualify Norm. Like, just how we say about VAR, you see with Messi, like a whole boot on someone's back leg. And he doesn't get a red card and stays on to score a hat trick.
And then after they come out, it's just very reminiscent. I mean, listen, look, the referees overall have been quite good. Because what I like about this World Cup is a couple of times where I've seen some robust challenges going, players going down, and the referees, especially in that game in the Garden, it was just get up, go, just carry on playing. I thought that was good, because the problem is like in England, it's just like, I think it was you, Gianni. You were saying yesterday, how is it that in the Premier League, the ball is in play on average 55 minutes?
50 this past year, the ball's only been in play for 51 minutes.
51 minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
That's why I'm saying what they've done with the rule changes, because Maddie was saying it on the show yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they made the changes now in the Premier League too. You're only getting the 5 seconds to throw the ball in.
Right, exactly. Yeah, keep the game throwing.
If you're supposed to be the best league in the world, we want to see the ball in play. We don't want to see all this slow nonsense throughout the whole season. It takes 8 minutes to take a corner. Nobody wants to see that nonsense.
Yes. You know, the thing is, right, just go back to, I remember back in the day when they used to talk about, English teams or the England teams going into a World Cup, because what they were saying that the advantage that England teams will have, depending on where they play as well, but because England play with pace and power and play at a frenetic pace, right? They were saying that because when you come up against teams that are in a much, say like Italy, say like, I'm just trying to say Spain, where the game is a little bit slower, all right? But the players are more technical. You look at Japan, you look at South Korea now, they're very technically good. I mean, even like Panama, there's teams in there. I looked at I'm thinking, all these English players have paid a lot of money, but I'm looking at these other teams, these so-called minnow teams and whatever, and I'm thinking they're actually technically better on the ball, that can keep the ball. Because yesterday, England could not string 2 passes together.
No.
I couldn't. Gianni, tell me, watching the game, you can, like when a team is like, when you used to watch Barcelona play, they kept it simple. And they used to move like it was sort of like the whole team used to move up in tandem up the field, moving that ball in triangles. Where did you see any triangles with England? It was either you hoofed the ball out. When Noddy picked up the ball on the right hand side, it's like he doesn't know what to do. He literally doesn't know what to do. They showed an instance where they showed a space where he was supposed to run into, and then he decides that he's going to cut in because he hasn't got a right foot. Yeah. He moves over on the left hand side. Yeah, he crossed it, but even in that, he's not good. He's not good enough for Arsenal. If he's not good enough for Arsenal, how on earth is this guy getting picked for England? I know Saka's carrying injuries. He's got the Achilles problem and that, and so it's almost like we've had to sacrifice that quality on the right hand side.
He's the only one staying on the pitch, Norms. When others are being subbed, he's staying on. So you got to look at that and say, okay, what does TT see in this guy that we're not quite seeing? Because he's staying on the pitch. You know what I mean? It's very interesting. Even the way he made the subs, because you're looking at the bench and you're saying, okay, there's a game changer. Stick him on. There's a game changer. Stick him on.
Yeah.
If you don't roll the dice and gambles, the teams that go on to go far in the competitions will always roll the dice, especially in a game like that, where you're saying, okay, we've got 70% of possession, maybe slightly more actually.
Yeah, I don't know what the final.
It's about 70 around or 73 or thereabouts.
It was like 70. Yeah, it was right.
Yeah.
It was just
and how many shots did they have on target? Was it 4?
3.
3.
Yeah.
3 total. Man. No, it was like 3 total shots. Not even shots on target. It was like 3 total.
That's what I'm saying. But your ex guy, man, your ex guy, Thomas. If Thomas didn't get messed up with this alleged stuff, I'm taking him at Old Trafford, bro, because he sits and protects that back four like a bad man. He reads the game
I'm not going to lie, he did a lot better than I'm telling that.
He reads the game so well.
So, reads it well.
You know what I mean?
That's why nobody can tell me that Zubimendi is better than this Thomas Partey.
No chance.
People are saying that. Listen,
not even close.
Look, obviously what he's done.
He's allegedly, I'll say allegedly here because it's still going on, isn't it?
No, that's what I'm saying. Allegedly, whatever he's done, he's done. But you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, in terms of his football,
no, the way he marshaled that game in front of the back four, he just saw everything and every danger he practically cleaned up. And I'm thinking, bro, how you got yourself messed up, man? You're a bad man still. But like I say, no one wants that. If it goes to where we think it might go, no one wants that on their club.
Yeah.
Hence why Arsenal had to just let him go. But what? Because remember, he couldn't even play the first game in Canada.
No, he couldn't. I was actually quite shocked to see him.
That he was starting. Yeah, because obviously this game was in America, wasn't it? This game was in Dallas, Texas. Where were they? Texas, England. I can't remember now.
So here's a question. Said this is his pick for the next game. He put obviously Pickford in goal. James, Konza, Gueye, O'Reilly, Henderson, Mainu, Madueke, Rodgers, Rashford, and Kane.
Roll that dice. Exactly. Roll that dice.
See, I would have Rashford.
Maybe Eze.
You know what? When Eze came on yesterday, he wasn't effective. I'm not going to lie. He got bars off the ball when they nearly. You see the thing about Ghana, they didn't have much of the ball, but when they did break on you, and that's what I was saying, it could have been a shot. It could have been a shot where they nick it on just nick it on the transition. Because every time they broke, they looked dangerous. Okay, and Ghana are strong, physical, big side. Yeah, they're strong. The players were getting brushed off the ball. And the thing is, as well, England kept spamming crosses in. They didn't keep the ball on the floor. Yeah, because England are meant to be one for one. They're meant to be better players than Ghana. But because Ghana stuck to their game plan, that's it. Now, the whole thing of they've been showing like Jude Bellingham and going over to the coach and the assistant coach and saying whatever he's saying. I don't know what the situation is behind that.
He needs to be benched.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'll say it. Jude Bellingham needs to be benched. But what I was going to say with the 11, I would drop Kane to the number 10, put Rashford on the right wing, Rodgers on the left wing, and have both Kane and Ivan Toney together. Maybe with 2 strikers together, you could.
So what you're playing then, Gianni? You're playing
4-2-3-1.
Okay, all right, yeah.
4-2-3-1. It can look like a 4-4-2 at times because Kane will cheat up. But
that's right.
I would have Rodgers at the left and I would have Rodgers at the left, Rashford on the right. And I'll also be honest with you, I would take Elliot Anderson out, and I would move Reece James into the defensive midfield and try
He's played that against us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The times that he played it for Chelsea, he understood the assignment to get forward passes. Elliot Anderson and Rice, all it is sideways. There is no
and you have to remember Elliot Anderson, you see the price tag on him.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Right? So you see this price tag on him. Now you're on the world stage and you're seeing what you're getting.
To be fair though, with Elliot Anderson,
yeah. I'm not saying he's not a good player.
Yeah, when I watched him in the first game, I thought
like
he was probably the most consistent one from minute 1 to minute 90 in that first game. Yeah, against Croatia. I thought he kept it tidy, got very good progressive passing. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, you have to be mindful as well of the minutes Rice has played.
Hey, listen, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
We know. You know what I'm saying? We know over here. We know over here, bro. You know. So it's showing on the pitch. It's showing on the pitch.
Right. And so with a lesser team, you're looking at Ellie Anderson, but you have to remember, once this group stage finishes, there's no lesser teams really. And so for me, you've got to be cutting your cloth against the minors. You don't want to disrespect them because they're at the World Cup. They've got their butt merit. But at the same time,
just quickly to go back to my first point, we kind of went a kind of a slight tangent, but I was saying about England teams back in the past. They used to play, when you used to watch football's changed a lot in England now in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Where it's very robotic, it's very slow and very predictable. You've got to probably go back to about mid-2000s to just see real good football where the balls move at pace and that. Remember, there was always this thing that used to come out that when English teams got there, if they play their game and play at that pace, they can trouble teams. But now we're seeing an England team, and it's like you're seeing an England that's coming over in a World Cup up against technical players in Ghana. Ghana said, come and break us down. They couldn't break them down. Yeah, there's literally moving the ball sideways, backwards. Noddy picks the ball up. Rather than running that, he's decided that he's going to play it sideways or play it backwards. Or if it doesn't, he doesn't reach a player. You know what I mean? Misplaced passes. Yeah. These are players that own a lot of money. You know what I mean? And it's almost like, like back in the day when it used to be the school playground or wherever it was, and everybody's just running after the ball. It's just like...
Kick and run football.
That's what it was. It's just like kick and run. There was no out-and-out plays. And it really is quite embarrassing. So when they're talking about, the Premier League is the best league in the world, it's maybe the most watched league because of what, the money that's thrown at it and everything and the PR behind it. But there are for me, when you look at leagues out there that are much footballers that are technically better.
Norms, if you look at the tech players he's left behind, right? And if you put form aside, Foden, Cole Palmer, Jack Grealish, guys that are good with the football at their feet, none of them got on the plane. So you got to roll the dice on at least one of them players, just as a gamble sub.
Yeah.
He did do
it. It's just the pragmatic. The football is very pragmatic, and it's like they won't. It's the very risk averse. You know what I mean? They just won't.
Right. Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
What is it going to take for everybody in England to get over the nonsense of Greenwood? Because Mason Greenwood, for me, being left off the team is a disgrace. Because Greenwood. With you knowing that Saka's hurt, with you knowing that Noni Madueke is now, I don't know how he got the second option because I'm taking Harvey Barnes on the national team before I'm taking Noni Madueke.
What about Jared Bowen?
Jared Bowen, the guy had 20 assists and 9 goals. He was responsible for like 80% of West Ham's goals. So it's like, how do these guys get left off? Greenwood was lighting up France for the last 2 years, scoring crazy goals. Take the guys that are in form as well. So I just didn't get that. He's another one for me. Like if you got Mason Greenwood right now, right? You could have still a Kane, a Rodgers, a Rashford, and a Greenwood as your attacking lineup. With the pace and the ball playing ability of Rodgers and Kane, the pace of Rashford and Greenwood making overlaps from the wings, you guys should be demolishing.
Listen, when Green was playing for Man U, you know, and you saw this young talent coming up, I was thinking, oh boy, because the guy, he can use both feet. So you didn't know which way to go.
Yeah.
He was scoring goals with his left, he was scoring goals with his right, and he was predominantly playing on the right hand side, but he could switch it up. So if you got somebody who's unpredictable and very technically good, you've got to say, listen, Ghana done what they've done, and they've said, yo, we're bringing in my man, we're bringing in Thomas in, yeah, and it's benefiting them right now. Do you know what I mean? They're bitten off their nose, and it's not smart in their face right now.
If you look at the coach that used to be Sir Alex's assistant, that's their head coach now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What's his name?
Carlos.
Carlos.
Quinton.
Yeah, Carlos. Yeah. And the way he's set up with Partey and marshalling, this is exactly how we should set Man United up in them Champions League games. And Neville and Ben guys spoke about it on the overlap yesterday. Because obviously Ian Wright just, you know, he lost his head. Because you know Ian Wright, like, he's so passionate about Arsenal, passionate about England. And he said, I just couldn't believe what I was watching. But he said he did this at Man United. He had Man United so rigid at the back with that one holder, which allows Scholes and them to go forward
to do what they needed to do. Yeah.
And it's like, come on, man. He just used the same tactics and literally nullified anything England had to do threat-wise. So for me, you sacrifice Henderson. You say, listen, Hendo, great servant, would have let you go. I got to gamble on one of these Teco players that weren't in the best of form, but I know can do it. And you bring one of them, Norm.
Yeah.
It's a World Cup at the end of the day. You know, you roll the dice on the World Cup.
Yeah, you have to.
You don't go safe at the World Cup. You roll the dice at the World Cup.
Yeah,
and this is where I feel like, come on, guys. Yeah, man, I got my Brazil shirt, my Brazilian man, but I still need to see the home nation show a little something. Get to the quarters and let us beat you. You know the ones, though.
No, yeah, man. No, but yeah, no. I mean, there's a lot that they got. You know, they should beat Panama.
It should be a no-brainer.
They should beat Panama. But I think, you know, when you get to the 32. And again, it's depending on where, you know, I think we said that they would finish. Did we say they would finish?
Yeah, I think we said first. You know, Norm. I think we said they'd top the group.
Yeah.
And then Croatia
they will
be
top
behind
it. I think they will top it with 7 points. Yeah. And I think
I'd love Ghana to go through, though, Norms.
Yeah, Ghana.
I'd love Ghana to go through in second.
Yeah, I mean, look,
they may go first. I think they could beat Croatia. Croatia was lucky that Panama didn't have a striker because Panama was all
that.
Exactly.
Gianni, 100%. Yeah, they had a finisher. Yeah. If Panama had a finisher, do you know what I mean?
It's on my wish list, Norm. I'm going there. Panama. I'm going to have a record.
Oh, you great. Okay.
It's on my wish list. Yeah.
So we say that England should beat Panama. Is that a given? Is that a definite given? Oh, okay.
It has to be, Norm.
Yeah.
Because I think he'll be forced to tweak that team, that starting lineup. Just give Rashford a start. Just give him a start. You have to be concerned for Anthony Gordon. That big old money move to Barcelona, and what you're seeing there is shocking. Yeah, brother. Are you saving this for Barcelona? What go on here? It's mad. It's mad, no. Because there's no way that's a Barcelona player.
They must know what they're doing. They
must know something that we ain't seen.
They must be seeing something in this guy. So that I mean, it might be clear balding for some reason.
Something off there.
But no, I mean, look, it's gonna. The groups are taking shape, and we've already said who have gone through. And then when you say you look at group, I mean, interesting groups. Group F, with Netherlands, Japan, Sweden. So they just quickly, who do you think is going to top the group? So we know Mexico are topping the group. Group B, Canada, Switzerland.
I think they play each other. I don't know. Yeah. I honestly don't know. I would lean towards Switzerland because Switzerland.
Yeah, I'm about to say that. I think Switzerland topped that one.
But I wouldn't be shocked if Canada won because I think they're still playing in Toronto. So Canada, I think, will.
Yeah, they got that kind of home support. Yeah, that would suit them. But I mean, Bosnia, Qatar, they're being terrible.
I think Bosnia beats Qatar and they get out.
And they go through as third.
Yeah.
Place.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 points in third place takes you pretty much through.
Yeah.
And then obviously Group C, who's topping that?
Morocco.
Okay.
Nah, Brazil, bro. Brazil topping that. Brazil beat Scotland, bro.
I think Brazil.
I'm thinking a draw. I'm thinking a draw.
Brazil beat Scotland,
youngsters.
Right.
Roll the dice on Hendricks and them mans and let them go and cook. Because we're still waiting for Neymar. Now, I don't know why he bought him if he wasn't mentally or physically there. Again, another Henderson move. Why are you bringing this guy?
He was lied to. So the story with this is what they said in Italy with DiMarzio is that Santos was lying about Neymar's health and everything behind the scenes just to get him onto the team. Plus, it sounded like the Brazilian FA was pressuring Ancelotti to bring him around.
Bring him.
It's like if you hire this guy to try to win, let him do his job instead of playing a political game. You know.
Yeah.
And this is why when I'm watching it, I'm thinking, is Ancelotti being strong-armed into this team selection? Because that's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like.
Just when he comes on, you're seeing the difference he's making, but he's just getting scraps as minutes, and I'm like, what am I missing here? Get them youngsters on the pitch. You don't need to have Casemiro on the pitch in the 70th minute when you can see that he's struggling out there and getting played through. So I feel like, okay, there's some politics going on behind the scenes that we're not privy to, but you know it happens. We've seen it over the years.
It's also the sad thing is at the end of the day, Brazil is just not Brazil anymore.
Exactly.
That's also the other problem. I mean,
what's that down to, guys? What is that down to? Why have they lost their flair? Is it because of the fact that they got so many Brazilians playing in the European?
No,
what is it? Or is it just they're just not good no more?
No, I think it's because they're leaving Brazil too young. They're leaving Brazil too young.
Thank you, Gianni. That's it.
Because if
too many of them are playing abroad rather than in their own country where they learn to be technical and then physical.
Yes.
So they've lost it all. Because remember they come here. It's a different football when they come here, and even if you're technical, that almost gets coached out of you.
Yes,
because
exactly.
You go play for a Pep, it's the system. You go play for an Arteta, it's the system.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So there are two top teams dominating. Then Liverpool ain't got any. Well, they got Alisson as a Brazilian. After that, I don't think they got any more outfield players, haven't they? It's just Alisson, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to think.
But like you're saying, it's they're this goes across the board because you can honestly say it's for every country. This whole nonsensical move to looking at the analytics and the stats is the reason why we're getting the football that we're getting. You can't tell me there's not one, and I'll even throw Neymar into this. There's not one Brazilian player on this team debatable for 2010. They're not getting into the 2006 Brazil team.
No,
exactly. Yep.
Definitely not getting into 2002. That ain't even up for
and there's your problem.
Exactly.
It's not even Brazilian football that they're playing. I said this to my brother earlier. I bumped into my brother today. He was over my side doing his working, and we were just talking briefly about the football. And he's like, "Bro, you're Brazil, man." I said, "Yeah, the flair's not there. It's not exciting, and the flair players that they have on the bench can't get a look in because it's almost like they'll come and upset the apple cart if he plays them." And I think Ancelotti wants to play them. I'm convinced he does, but he's not allowed to. Not for now, anyway. And if you get knocked out early, he'll probably walk. He'll just walk away, won't he?
Yeah.
You know, they'll say they're firing, but you don't really fire Ancelotti. He walks.
And the thing about it, when you work yourself up for World Cup, a lot of the times back in the day, we all watched the World Cup because of Brazil. It was like
exactly,
you know what I mean. But this World Cup, it's not like because you see the players playing in their various leagues and that, like in our league, on other leagues and that, and you look at them and then you see them playing in their qualifying rounds and they're struggling. They're gonna make it. They're getting beaten by Japan for the first time in their history and this, and you're looking, you're thinking, they're not really pulling up many trees. And then you see the side and you're thinking,
but Nomski, yesterday on the WhatsApp group when you guys were the whole debating the Ronaldo Messi thing, right? And what came to mind, but they're gonna say D's coming with that Brazilian bias. I said R9 before the injury and Ronaldinho. Come on, man. You cannot sleep on them two. Them two are in the same bracket as Messi and and Ronaldo, in my opinion. R9 before the injury was ridiculous. After that bad injury, then he wasn't the same player.
Ronaldinho. I'll throw another one at you, D. Mario.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Mario's in that conversation, too.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So they're sleeping on these guys, and I get it, relevance to this point right now, but you can't ignore what man like, big up yourself, my guy. You can't ignore man's like what Ronaldinho and Ronaldo before the injury are. Because you have to remember, CR7.
Listen, Ronaldinho should sign up for Brazil now. He's coming back now.
Right. You know,
he's coming to Italy. He's for Italy at 46.
Get your boots on.
I remember, I can't remember what year this was. We played, it was when he was at Barcelona, Ronaldinho, and he was warming up on his own. And he was doing this madness where he would boot the ball into the air, right? Watch it come down, trap it any which way, do the whole juggle, then back up in the air again. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, this brother's insane. Like, just the way, it's almost like his foot, there was a magnet in his foot and a magnet in the ball, and the ball just stopped dead on the man's foot. And I said, you see this techie here? Him, because you have to remember, he was physical, technical, and had the PMP, the pace and power, like we like to talk about in the Premier League. That's literally impossible to defend. On his day, he's cooking in any top 5 defender in the world in that time, and he did that. So I think if you look at, if he was playing in the social media era, like how Messi and Ronaldo are, then the conversation is just different, man. It's different. We know that. But I thought, since them man's Ezenem was and JP was going at, I said, if I throw in them Brazilian man, they're gonna just come at me. Like, right.
This one from Kwaja. Okay, this one from Kwaja because is Neymar top 10 Brazilian of all time, lads?
No, not even close. Not even close.
Because of his mentality. I think skill set. He's got the skill set, but not the mentality. So this is what takes him out of the top 10.
Skills with the ball. Neymar's arguably top 15 best players to ever step onto a pitch.
Yeah. But mentality,
yes, exactly.
His mental keeps him out of the top 10.
Because you can't sit here and tell me, because everyone talks, Neymar this, what did he do at Barcelona? Okay, why are we skipping over the majority of his career, which was PSG when he came to Europe? That's the part that everybody likes to forget about.
Yeah. And he should never have gone there, Gianni. He should never have gone to PSG, in my opinion.
Even if I agree with you, I don't think he should have ever left Barcelona in the first place. He should have been there.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
He should have been the heir apparent.
He wanted to be the man. But the
I know
exactly that. Yeah, exactly that.
And I respect you trying to be the man. What I don't respect about you is every time a manager told you to stop drinking, stop partying, and focus on the game, you called the owner of PSG and said, "Get this manager out here. I cost you 200, and I nearly cost you $250 million. Get this guy out of here because he's telling me what to do." And then look what eventually it bled out to. Where do you think Mbappe is getting this from? From being around him. From seeing the exact same thing when they spent the money over there. You're seeing the exact same thing. Nobody can tell me, if we go and recreate a FIFA game right now and you're telling me you got Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi as your front three, you should be smoking everybody. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And it's not like, Neymar was good, but the rest of the team was bad. Bro, every time that PSG is actually a funny case study. Every time PSG had that Galacticos team, they always screwed up. They had that massive screw up against Man United when Lukaku and Rashford came in the clutch and knocked them out of the Champions League. You saw the screw ups with Real Madrid over the years. It's just had Neymar not done that, if Neymar would have stayed at Barcelona, or even if he went to PSG and got consistent like he was at Barca, he would be at that table. But because he
lost that discipline, you have to remember this is what Alex Ferguson said: no players coming to Old Trafford on more money than me. Because once you're paying more than me, I can't talk to them. You know what I'm saying? I can't talk to them because they want more money than me. So it doesn't matter that I'm the manager. He's going to say, "Boss, I'm on more than you. Relax. I'm doing it my way." In fact, I'm going to talk to the owner and tell him that you're bullying me. Exactly. I'm on more money than you. You know what I'm saying? So Ferguson always said it. Listen, this is how I'm running the club. I'm sure Wenger was the same. No one's getting paid more at Arsenal than Arsene Wenger. Same as Alex Ferguson. But obviously, them days are gone. We know them days are gone. They're gone. I mean, but it changed the mentality of football that you step to that player, you give him the hair dryer treatment, and he can't say nothing back to you. I'm the governor. I'm on the most money. It is my club, not your club. And Neymar was walking around PSG. Like, this is my club. He can't talk to me. Like Gianni said, get him gone. He's coming at me on.
And that same attitude, same thing that happened with Mbappe. It's just like, I think with Messi, do you know what I mean? Obviously, I think Messi going from Barcelona to PSG, I think it's just a change of environment. And
that was
the money. The fees. The fees was heavy.
I mean, there was no kind of was there any? I mean, when he was there, you didn't really hear real controversial stuff. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I think he just like, I've gone over here, earned me money. Now I'm in MLS now, do my thing out there.
But to go back to like this talk with Neymar, here's the thing, man. And again, this maybe I'm biased because we're older than a lot of these other guys that watch football now. I'm sorry, man. Go back and watch that Barcelona team with Rivaldo and Romario. Neymar ain't touching it. I'm sorry, he ain't touching it. What Ronaldinho was doing for fun at PSG, at Barcelona, and at AC Milan, he was chefing everybody. And then again, we still have Pelé, we still have Charcinho, we still have Carlos Alberto. And then here, even the old school Brazilian defenders could dribble past you. Does everybody not remember how great Cafu was? Cafu's
exactly
best right back of all time. And then you still got Roberto Carlos and everybody else. That's why for me, I cannot. And even
now, when they do those things where ex-players and they go get them to come down and do their tricks with the ball.
Play,
and Roberto Carlos, bro,
still doing the man.
He can hit the target. I mean, like he's taking these shots, and I mean, obviously how he does it, I don't know. But I mean, these guys. I mean, you can imagine.
He's got this strange backlift, Norm.
Yeah,
the backlift that he can still get on a football, even at that age, is like, bro. Just shed some pounds and come out retirement, bruv. You know what I mean?
You being a United and a Brazil fan, me personally, I don't remember a performance like on a 2-game on a big stage. I don't honestly remember a big game performance consistently like Neymar, like from what we saw in that period with Kaká at AC Milan.
Right.
So it's like that's the thing for me. It's not, I'm not trying to dumb down Neymar or be one of these guys that hate Neymar. It's just what Brazil was is different level.
Yeah, like, it was. Yeah.
What we've always traditionally said is this: the 4 teams that you always had to worry about with the World Cup was Brazil, Italy, Argentina, and Germany. That's it. Everybody else was a dark horse. France, the old history of France was, yes, they all had superstars, but they were all prima donnas. And you didn't know if they
could never gel
together. Same thing with the Dutch. The Dutch, if we look at all the great players,
that still baffles me. Yeah, because they had some talented players, but again, a bunch of individuals.
Yeah, they should have 2-3 World Cups. The Dutch, with the amount of world-class players they had, they just never could figure out how to get over the nonsense with each other.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying on today. Okay, good stuff.
and that leads us. Listen, you see, Quadra is reading my mind. That leads us nicely onto these three.
There
you have the 3 Musketeers. Yeah. But the one in the middle, D'Artagnan.
You know that one.
He the man in the middle. We was talking earlier on, and my curse is over him right here. I was talking to Gianni earlier when I was saying to him, I mean, this guy now has broken the record for the most goals in World Cup history with 18 goals.
18 goals,
obviously, at the time of saying that, he had scored 17, and he obviously got the second goal. He also missed a penalty. Okay.
Yes, so that was crazy, wasn't it?
He's got 3 World Cups in a row. He's missed penalty, so he's got that unwanted record. But listen, the man right now, as it stands, and listen, Kylian Mbappe is not too far behind me because obviously I took a screenshot. Kylian Mbappe now is on 16 goals. Joint top with joint second with Klose from Germany. But I feel that record will go. I think it will probably go. It will go. It's going to be interesting. And just going back, I mean, look, you know, you've got Mr. Haaland there. You know, Norway's top goal scorer. You know, of all time, and he's just ridiculous. I mean, that guy scores all sorts of goals, scrappy goals. You name it, he's gonna. He just that's one thing about it, he's just hungry for goals. You know, he was trying to get a hat trick. You know, I mean, when you look, he's currently on 4 goals. Messi's on 5 goals, obviously getting a hat-trick against Algeria. It could have been a different thing if he'd got sent off. And then obviously Mbappe on 4 goals as well. But, and I was maybe throwing in, well, Ronaldo. I mean, this conversation of Ronaldo and Messi, somebody said to me, listen, Ronaldo is right up there. And I know JP was saying that, everybody's not, why is everybody having a go at Ronaldo? And when it comes to Messi, whatever. The thing I enjoy about Messi is just that he's just like a little boy in a toy shop. He's just, for me, just his natural ability. I'm not saying, I think with Ronaldo, he works hard at his game. I'm sure Messi does it, but I think you see that, in terms of, his body image and all of that. Ronaldo's not got the best body image. He's not the best looking geezer, people would say. But what he does on that field of play is just ridiculous, and how he makes it so easy. And it's like watching it. It's like being in the Matrix. Everything's just going a million miles around you, and he's just doing his thing. I mean, guys,
if you look how he plays, though, if you look how he plays in terms of, he really paces his body. You don't see him running up and down like a madman. You see him walking a lot, and then he's actually switches on. You see he's walking back, then boom, he's gone, and you think, brother. You think you're smart, innit? So sometimes it's almost like you would think he's not interested in the game because he's and
some people will probably say he's lazy and whatever. No, he knows what he's capable of doing now.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? He reads the game so well. Yeah, and the team is playing
well. He reads the game well. The team around him know when he's going to make these moves. You see him walking. You see him go left. He goes right.
You made a comparison with the team is playing for him and around him. Then you say, what would you say for Ronaldo? Is the team playing for him, around him, or they've been forced to play around him?
It feels forced, which is a shame, because if you look at Ronaldo, he's probably got a lot to offer coaching wise, but he still wants to be the main guy. Now, does that help or hinder Portugal again in the World Cup? Because before this game, he gone 10, which is kind of mind blowing without scoring. 10 internationals apparently without scoring, in both both the Euros and the World Cups. But some will say the last World Cup should have been his last one, as in Ronaldo. But his ego's too big, Norm. And I love him for what he did for us. Yeah. But the ego has you a little bit, bro. Sometimes I think you're hurting your team. Now imagine, remember he's still got the captain's armband as well. If I'm right, he's still got the armband. So because he's got the armband, now there's a lot of people saying that Bruno should be the Portugal captain now. They said that Bruno's earned 2 stripes to get that, but Ronaldo doesn't want to be a super sub, for a better use of a word, where you use him in just blocks. You bring him on in the 65th minute and just give him a free rein. You let him cook. He's got that main character syndrome. Maybe until he retires, he's not going to give that up, unfortunately. So for me, I say, does that hurt? Does that hurt Portugal moving forward? Because if this is not his last World Cup, I'm not sure what we're doing here with him. You know what I mean? And like I say, for us, he's been a great servant. He should never have come back the second stint. I think he ruined it the second stint. A lot of fans were just like, bro.
Yeah, that was a bit of a... that was a bit of a...
Whether it was Alex Ferguson that convinced him or forced Ollie. Because remember, that they said Ollie didn't want him. And if you look at what happened, he practically got Ollie sacked in the end. You know what I mean? For how this thing didn't work out. Ollie took the hit. So, and to my understanding, when Ollie went on the overlap with the guys, he was kind of hinting at, love what Ronnie's done. Still a good guy, but at that time we were going in a different direction. That's all he would say. He didn't want to slate the club. He just said we were trying to go in a different direction, and then we weren't, and the rest is history. Some will say he came to United and scored 17 goals, but where did we finish? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So when you look at that, you go, yeah, guys, come on, we have to stop doing this. What he did for us the first time around, they always say never go back to an ex. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been back to your ex before you got married, but they say don't go back to your ex, man, because why you left her is why you shouldn't go back.
Correct.
So yeah, I'm not giving relationship advice.
He went back and still found the same changing rooms and same dinner ladies.
Exactly. She was still in the box room at her parents' house. She hadn't evolved. She hadn't got her own apartment and stuff. So Gianni, if in England we have them houses, they build one that they call the box room. You can get a single bed in or a single bump bed in. You won't get a double bed in there or a king size bed. So we call it the box room because it literally is a box room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's over here in the States. We call that the den. If you have
there you go. The den, exactly. Yeah.
I think I said this. I said this on my call-in show like 2 days ago. I don't get the slack that Ronaldo gets. I don't really understand because I feel like people like to play revisionist history with him. Everybody forgets he had that massive injury to his knee at Real Madrid. And ever since that injury, he had to change his game because, and this is the thing, Pep's Barcelona team, we put in the same conversation as the Liverpools of the 70s and 80s and like the Milan of the 80s and 90s, right? Those are like the three teams that we all say are like the greatest club sides. And then you also have the Man United class of the 90s and then other teams that can be argued in. The problem with Ronaldo was he needed to change his game in order to keep up with scoring goals for that Real Madrid team to keep up with that Barcelona team. So, this whole thing that gets ran about, the technical ability and all that, let's not kid ourselves. When Ronaldo was Ronaldo at United in the early days of Madrid, he was going nuts with both scoring goals and his technical ability. He had to change his game in order to preserve his career because of the injury that he had to that knee. And now you see why you have Ronaldo in this place that he's at. Now, I'm going to be a little biased here. People know I'm also a Napoli fan. Unless Messi wins a second World Cup, I'm still not taking him over Maradona. That's my personal opinion for this whole GOAT.
I like Diego.
So, when we talk about the GOATs, I understand people are talking about, all the goals and all this, and I hear it. But you also have to still talk about the guys that influence the game to why Ronaldo and Messi are able to flourish in the game now. You still have to put in the conversation Johan Cruyff. You still have to put in the conversation of Zinedine Zidane. I know everybody doesn't like to talk about defenders, but when we talk about the greatest players of all time, Paolo Maldini is in there.
I was going to say that.
Right.
So this whole GOAT debate gets thrown out of whack.
Prime Maldini.
When we're talking,
let's bring context to it because when you're playing against top world-class defenders, compared to now, that's what I'm to say. Just that the era of football then. Can you imagine? Because for me, watching 2002, there's a point where it's just like football's kind of like it's almost like a line is being drawn in the sand, right? And then it's like like when you step over into the next dimension, right? And you're thinking, mate, I want to go back and see the football of yesteryear and see if the players. Because back then, the teams and the players that they were playing against, the quality is literally a chasm compared to now. What you tend to get now is because of social media. Social media brings. I mean, they're more social media starved than they are really footballers. A lot of them,
right?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe someone like a Ronaldinho would probably struggle. Like if he was like the quality, if he's playing now. And with the quality he was then playing now, I wonder if he would have the mindset because he's a bit of a party man and he likes to have a good time.
Same.
You know what I'm sort of saying, but
if you look at it,
they didn't have those distractions. I think maybe you could probably put it down to distraction as well and what they do outside of football.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the social media part of it as well, Norm. Because if you look at Ronaldinho, he was very much and this is a basketball guy. He's very much
in the house. Shane is in the house. Big up Shane, man, every time, man. Big up to you, bro.
And Johnny will get this one from the Chicago Bulls. He's a bit of a Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Right? In terms of when it comes to game time, it was game time. When it comes to partying, Rodman was
partying.
They're saying that like in the playoffs, they're saying that he'd play a game, man wouldn't even shower. Just put his clothes on, hit the club. And they were madness. I reckon he's sorting Charlie, everything, Norms. Next game comes up and pulls 25 rebounds. You're like, brother. And so I look at this guy.
Do you reckon if they tested him, like, he would be in a lot of trouble?
Oh, mate, he'd be messed up if he was getting tested when he was coming back to the basketball games.
They were never going to do that because of what Jordan and the Bulls brought to basketball at that time.
Yeah,
I mean, funny story. There was one time in the playoffs where the Bulls won a game. Rodman went to Vegas.
That's right. Yeah,
all over the video. It was all over the news. Rodman just won a game, like D said, didn't shower, hopped on a private jet, went to Vegas, partied in Vegas for a day and a half, showed back up. Phil Jackson said the guy smelled like Patron. He goes, he comes back in at the shoot around. He's sweating out the booze, but he ends up going up and grabbing like 25 rebounds and 4 blocks. Like, because all he was there for was
he was insane.
But,
yeah, just a defensive monster. And so you look at Ronaldinho, a very similar thing. He could go and party and then switch it on. And you're like, bro, how do you do that? You have to be a unique beast.
You have to. You got to.
And not fail at your assignment when it's time to, when it's game time. Put the game face on.
I suppose it's like there's certain players that, you know, we talk about certain players that, you know, they can't train hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but as soon as it's game day, they just switch up. It's like, bro, you know, how these guys, you know what I mean? You know, maybe they will turn around and say the longevity might not be there. So you see, someone like Ronaldo.
We say in Italy there are players who have to work for the game, and there are some players who are just chosen by God to play football. That's just what it is at the end of the day. You know, like there's bad here. Aiden Hazard was a terrible trainer. It's why his career fell apart at Real Madrid. It's why he was said multiple times from different managers at Chelsea that he was a bad trainer. But when game day came on, did you notice the difference that he was a bad trainer with Hazard at Chelsea? Because he made everybody look stupid. So it just is what it is.
I'll throw you one more, and there's another basketball one. Allen Iverson.
Yep.
Training. We're talking about training or the game. Training. Or he did an interview, Norman. That's what he said. We're talking about training or we're talking about the game.
Yeah.
Because in the game, I show up. Forget about training. That's all he said for a whole interview. You remember, Gianni? And that was my guy. And only because of Michael Jordan, Norman, why Allen Iverson didn't get any rings in terms of he was up against Jordan. But in terms of what he brought for a small man point guard on a basketball pitch, he could go clubbing, he could skip training and be the best player on the pitch or on the court in terms of basketball. So there's some players, like you say with Messi, I don't think Messi has to train hard, Norm.
No,
he just has to keep his legs moving and his brain functioning, and then you see what he can do. So he could miss training, but everyone knows that we're training, and this little gap in the middle is where Messi will be, and he'll just be walking back.
If you watch it, I mean, he just knows where to be, and I think that's what I'm saying. I think the team is playing for him, around him, and whereas I think with Ronaldo, I think he's just like, because he's trying to go for these targets. I mean, he's a great player. I mean, he's a professional when it comes to keeping his body in shape and that. You know, I think someone was saying, I can't remember who it was saying that even though he's 41, he's got the physique of a 27-year-old, like, sort of thing.
The guy spends like $5 million on himself every year when it comes to the nutritionists and everything that he does. That's why he's still going. But a funny point that you guys made, like with what you're saying with Argentina, isn't it funny? Argentina is playing for Messi. What have we been screaming out that the game misses? The Mavericks, the old school number 10 position.
In general, we have
It's what he's doing. The old number 10s, no matter who we want to say, whether it was a Guti or a Rivaldo or any Giorgi Hadji and all of everybody in between in the number 10s. They had the same way that Messi was playing. The teams would move for them. He would be the one to basically be the quarterback of the team. Give me the one pass. I'll find the space, and I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you, or I'm going to take it myself. It's funny because that's what the game is missing. Is that Maverick?
And it's quite funny, Gianni, because like I don't follow American football to that, but it's like the quarterbacks, like, in American football, they are held. You know what I mean? You know, because they're the ones that make it happen. Do you know what I'm saying? Get that ball to him. He finds his man. So, I remember, like, there was number 10s. We're not seeing those number 10s that, watching Fabregas. I'm not saying he's on the level of a Messi or whatever, but he was a very, very good player. And watching Fabregas, just the way, I always described it. I remember watching him live. It was just like he had a string, like the string and the ball's attached to it. When you hit the tennis ball and it comes back to you. So literally, he's just like in the middle of the park, and Clint plays it to him, this one plays it to him, that one. It's just like, and it's like the game is going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, but somehow he's able to slow it down, just find his player, bang, define him, and and then they're just moving up the field, just creating. I don't see that with England, and I especially don't see that with Arsenal. Yeah, we've been Arsenal looking for that creative number 10, Dennis Bergkamp. I mean, listen, man,
you don't see it. You don't see it anywhere,
back, man.
You don't see that.
You ain't seen it now. Yeah.
You don't see it anywhere.
I mean, if you ever
look at how many Dutch players. You don't see a Wesley Sneijder no more, and that's just a recent time. You don't see old school Clarence Seedorf walking around on the pitch anymore.
What a baller!
You know what I mean? You don't. That's why I'm saying that's why I said to go back to it. This is where analytics is killing the game, because the analytics, they're looking at it from a stat point of view of, if he goes out of position here, we're however much percentage higher to get caught on a break. Brother, this is football. You're supposed to see and be entertained by this. I'm sorry, nobody's being entertained by this. Don't let the people confuse it. They think that this is good football. This isn't good football. Kicking the ball far and trying to run around somebody doesn't mean you're a great dribbler and you're a great highlight reel player. I'm sorry, you're not. That's where we differ when we start talking about the different class of players from what we saw in the old days to what we see now.
Yeah, because back in the old days, nobody ever sat down and talked about stats. XG.
No, never.
Field tilt, or this tilt, or that tilt, or IG, or whatever G you want.
Exactly.
The only G's, were man like Maradona, man like Pele, goats. People that I didn't see Pele because obviously I was 67 born, so I would have seen Maradona in his element. Those are the G's, the goats. No XG, the G's. That's it. Take out the X, the G's. But now we're just faced with, you rightly said, Gianni, stats after stats after stats space, and then people will base that and say, they'll just look at those stats, because if they're going to go and find a player, they don't go and watch him with their eyes. They just go, right, let's just go to that stat-based company. This is what we got on him. He should do the job. And then
that's why you're seeing the death of these, and that's why you're seeing the death of some of these nations of why they're doing that. Again, when you go to the World Cup, the Germans, yes, they got 4 World Cups and all that. What was always the talked about game to see a matchup? It was Brazil versus Italy. It was to see the dancing capabilities of Brazil versus the Catenaccio defense of Italy, because the entirety of the footballing world between those two teams playing one another. That's what we always dreamed of when we see a World Cup. We say, hopefully we get a Brazil-Italy matchup. We got it in the finals in America in 94. You've seen it a ton of times here and there as well. But, that's the game that everybody talked about because it covers the entirety of football. Because even with Italy, you still had the offensive players throughout the years. You had Gianni Rivera, Baggio, Del Piero, Totti, and all that sort as well, while also playing defense. But these stats is what's killing it. Because, again, like with the Brazilian, me personally, if I was the head of the Brazilian FA, I would try to make it a rule to where Brazilian players cannot leave the country till they're at least 25. We need you to our brand of football. Because it's funny, the Pelé movie. Remember the Pelé movie? And it's funny how things come full circle. When Pelé and the black players were not allowed on Brazil like that, it was because they would have played the European brand of football that they were trying to play back in the 50s with Brazil. Then they brought the kids from the favelas in, the majority of the black players, they started dancing with the ball. And that's what revolutionized Brazil to start playing that brand of football. Now you're starting to see it coming back again to where it is.
That's what they called it. You used to hear the term samba football. You know what I mean?
Literally,
because they used to like up and dance. It's like, bro, you know. And I think there was a. I'm sure it was to do with when they were doing a documentary on I think it was Ronaldinho, and he was talking about that he's based his skill on like dance. I think it was. I'm sure it was him. He was saying that because obviously, And that is a fact, and that's why there's the Samba team.
One of the greatest commercials of all time. Do you guys remember the old Brazil Jogo Bonito commercial where they were just juggling the ball, having fun, and playing the music in the background in the Brazilian locker room? You don't see that no more. You're not seeing that with this Brazil. And again, it's because that's the other thing to what stats are ruining. Every different country has their own interpretation of the game. These stats are trying to make everybody have the same interpretation of the game, which is not what it's
not right. And it becomes very stale. What's the word?
Stale.
What's the word? Stale and very clinical, very predictable, very robotic, and that's what we're seeing in the Premier League now. I think watching the World Cup, you're seeing different styles of play.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you watch England, that is just a replica of the Premier League.
Yep.
Yeah.
It literally is a replica of the Premier League.
And the sad thing is having Tuchel's German, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So having a German manager, you almost feel like, okay, he's going to put a twist on this national team because he's German. Mm. But it's almost like he's just conformed. You're like, bro,
I don't see any different. Listen, he's in game management is a lot better than Arteta and stuff like that. But
it would have been interesting, if England had gone after Klopp, persuaded Klopp to be the national manager after
if he was the manager, England would be in a different story.
It would be interesting to see what sort of football Klopp would have wanted England to play. Yeah, and would he allow the FA to bully him into who's getting on the plane and who's not getting on the plane and all this?
If you look at Klopp, I mean, when you look at Klopp's Liverpool, and that season in that Champions League when they had to turn around that 4-0 that deficit, and they played Klopp. What they call it? What's the term? Rock and roll,
heavy metal football.
Heavy metal football.
Yeah, heavy metal football. Yeah.
But what it was is even though they played, it was like the pace at which they played it. It wasn't. It was exciting, but it was. It's not chaotic. I can't find the word. It was chaotic, but it was controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos. Yep.
And literally, guys, they swarmed over you. They hit you. You're done. And I'm thinking, no way they're going to beat Brazil. Literally, not Brazil, sorry, but Barcelona. Took them apart. Now, I'm wondering if that same Klopp, if he was to introduce that kind of football, I mean, the guys would have to have some super strong hamstrings, I'll tell you that now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? And be very, very fit. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if it would be the same for Pep Guardiola. I don't know, because Pep kind of is more about control.
He's a system guy, isn't he?
System guy. Do you know what I mean? What he will do is he will allow one or two of his best players to let them free roam. Whereas I think with Arteta,
a bit like how he did
everybody needs to stay in their place. It's almost like you don't move. You know what I mean? And so it would be interesting. But I think Tuchel, I've not seen any difference. And you rightly said, I've not seen any difference to Northgate. You know what I'm going to say. And the football is very similar.
It's waiting for a German twist right now for this England team. It's like German. Obviously the English will say, "Well, no, it's not German. They'll go back to the war." But we're just talking football. We ain't talking war. But you want that German twist where he's not over influenced by the Premier League. Yeah. He's just his own man, and I feel like he's looking at the talent and saying, "Okay, this is the best talent I feel." Hence why everyone got the video FaceTime call to say, "Yeah, I'm not bringing you." But then now you're in the tournament in the moment. Just be your own man.
Yeah,
I think
because the truth is,
I think where he's wrong is he has left out some. I mean, they have not had their best season, but you need to bring in some technical
just one flair player that you have as your roll the dice.
Yeah, even if it's
like you say, Foden. What I say, Foden, Grealish, Cole Palmer. One of them three to replace Henderson.
Yeah,
and you say,
I mean,
you know what?
Trent. Okay, he's not great defensively in terms of things, but what he will give you is those
in a set piece.
Yeah, it's set pieces or even just spreading the ball. You saw what he did for Liverpool. Him and Robertson. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But let's just quickly move along here. Look, as you can see at the bottom here, is Messi's got 5 goals. I think he will surpass the 2022 there in Qatar where he got 7 in goals.
Qatar,
And the result of those 7 goals is that he went on to lift the World Cup. You know what I mean? Now, the thing is who out of these 3, or do we add anybody else in there? Will be out these 3 for the Golden Boot?
Yeah.
I think so. If we're going to look at it, it's about really the team that's going to go the furthest. And I think at the end, it's either going to be Argentina or France. And I think Haaland, they play Norway play France, innit? They play France, innit? So that's going to be an interesting game because funny enough,
that is
that table there.
That's for first place.
You say 6 points. France won 6 points. Norway on 6 points. So it's whoever's gonna top that group. I think France will do it, and Norway will, come through.
Yeah, just a containing. Well, he actually came out and said that he expects France to beat them. This is what Haaland said, which is very interesting.
Yeah, Haaland, he's very matter of fact.
You know what I mean.
He's not Haaland's not media trained. He just says it.
He'll just say what. And I don't think he was saying they're not going to try. I think he's looking at the squads and saying, if we're going by squads, then the France team is a better squad than us, so they should beat us. Even though he'd won a hat trick against France, you know what I mean? Yeah, because he's that guy. He's a goal-hungry guy. He's just a goal machine. So
that's what he is. That's what he is. That's what he is. That's his job. That's his job. As Roy Keane was saying, that's your job.
That's his job.
You know what I mean? Hey, big up to Guna SC. Big up Robbie Senior, DG, and United. Now, listen, Guna SC, man. You keep calling me Robbie Senior. I want his money. I'll give you a joke now. I think I said it to Guna SC. Yeah, I think I said it to him I think it was in Shane's breakfast show one of the mornings, and I was at a training session. Not me was playing. I was getting a team ready we're playing a 7-side game this weekend competition, and this guy, I was down at the training place down in Kent, and this guy came up to me after when we were finishing all that. We lost the game. I'm meant to be the manager. I'm probably going to get sacked. but he comes up and goes, "Yeah, man, great game. Big up Robbie Senior." No, he didn't say big up Robbie Senior. He said big up Robbie. I'm like, what's going on? Do I look like Robbie? I don't look like Robbie. Then another guy, after I came back from the parade, I was down in Trafalgar Square. I'm waiting at the bus stop. He sees me in my Arsenal top. He come by, some geezer come by. Big up Robbie. Bro, how do I look like Robbie? And big up Shane and Kwanzaa. That's from going there. So I don't know, man. But listen, I wouldn't mind his money. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't mind his money. You know what I'm going to say. Now, quickly moving on. Where is it? This one here. We talked about Eminem lighting up the World Cup. So basically, who's your top goals? Just quickly, who's your top goal scorer? Who ends up with the golden boot?
I'm going to say Mbappe.
Right. Well, it depends on whether Argentina rests Messi, because they play Jordan next. So that Jordan. They play Jordan next, isn't it?
They should rest him in.
But he might
want to play though.
They'll probably make him play for the first half and then whatever. Score the goals and take him off.
As long as he doesn't miss another penalty, he should be.
Because I think at that point, it will be stat padding. You know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
Big up, Mr. Brown. What are you saying? Look at like Robbie's older brother. What are you dealing with? I don't look like Robbie's older brother. You sure about that?
You guys are foul saying that.
You know what I mean? Come on, man. Behave. You know what I mean? Big up to Leon, man, every time. But look, so you're saying Mbappe? What are you saying, Johnny?
I think I got to agree with D, because I think France is going to win this.
Yeah.
I think France wins this World Cup, so I'm gonna say them. I
think when we did our prediction thing, D, do you remember when we did it? I didn't take it.
Yeah.
I think we ended up with Argentina against Spain, and I think you had Spain in it.
Yeah,
I think I had Argentina or the other way round. I can't remember which way.
I think it's right. I think you had Argentina. I had Spain.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. When we were doing the table.
Yeah, but then I think watching Spain in that Cape Verde game, I was thinking,
you're like, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, look suspect, didn't they?
Yeah, but
the injuries. If Lamine Yamal and them and from
Spain is not beginning to look like a one-man thing. You know what I mean? Whereas you look at France and look at the players that they're bringing off the bench.
Yeah,
you're looking at Elise. Oh, what a player!
Your front four is Elise, Doué, Mbappe, and Dembele. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it is.
That's a crazy front four, isn't
it? Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Right, let's get on to this one. Too short to manage Declan's fitness worry. Now, I am very worried. I'm not going to lie. After seeing this image after the game, Declan Rice injury concern. Declan Rice injury concern emerges after England draw with Ghana, and obviously this is what they're saying, that he's got a concern to the left calf, a knock, and they've seen him limping off going through the mix zone with a strapping around his left calf after the 90 minutes where England drew 0-0 with Ghana. And the issue was triggered by a heavy second half challenge near the corner flag. I don't think we saw that, did we? And after that, you saw him just kind of limping around. And then he's got on top of that long-standing, who knew, Gianni? Who knew?
Yeah.
He's got this long-standing hamstring nerve pain, which is affecting his back. So if you watch him in games, especially like this, he's been carrying this, I think even he said it himself, he's been carrying this injury since Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And my worries, Gianni, is us going into the new season. The question is, Gianni, will we be able to add another shirt? Yeah. It's 1998, 2002. It seems quite strange, Gianni, looking at 4 Premier League titles there. It seems good because we haven't seen it for such a long time. We've seen 3 Premier League titles. Now there's 4 shirts there represented 2026 champions. Yeah, you never sing that. Yeah, I know we won't sing that. But Big D, champions of England, you will never sing that. Yeah. Now, the question is, guys, with all of these injuries and stuff that's occurring, and Saliba coming back, he's playing with an injury. Timber is back, didn't even make he got sent home. Saka playing with the Achilles problem. Ben White. We've got a lot of injuries, and look, it sounds crazy to say that the World Cup has fallen at the wrong time, because there's nothing better than watching the World Cup and that. But it's during a period where, pre-season, a lot of these players that are playing, if they go a long way in the competition, and even if England get knocked out, say, in the last round of 32 or the quarterfinals or last 16, they're going to get they're not going to. I don't think you're going to see them in pre-season, to be perfectly honest.
You can't.
You can't. You can't. They have to be rested. But the main thing is what are we doing about it? We're seeing Tuchel making sure, because I don't think Saka's now. I'm hearing that Saka hasn't got a 90-minute game in no more. What you're seeing Tuchel doing is managing that. Now, is Arteta going to do that same thing? That's the question we need to ask ourselves when he comes back. That's my worry. I mean, Gianni, just hit me up on what you feel going into this new season, and do we see a 2027 shirt up there or not?
I think,
and your things on like the transfer window, which we'll touch on as well.
See, like for me, this is my worry coming into this: is you would think that everything going on around us, the rivals and everything else, that we should be trying to shoot to try to go back to back. Chelsea has no guarantee that Xabi Alonso is going to work. The only thing that they have going for them is they're playing 1 game a week, right? Mm-hmm. So Man United, I don't know if I want to bring this up real quick, but Man United, apparently from what I saw, is the Glazers took out another couple $100 million out of
I saw that.
And
insanity.
And increase their debt. And it's like, bro, well, if you're increasing the debt because you pulled out more money, this 300 million pound war chest that Man United fans were talking about ain't happening, especially now that they've been talking about they secured a land deal and everything for the stadium. Well, you got to put a down payment on that. And it goes against your books when you do a new stadium. So there's no guarantee that there's going to be big money flowing at United for transfers. And then again, Iraola is a good manager, but there's no guarantee that that's going to turn Liverpool into champions. I still think that they will be a lot better under him, but the injuries are the concern. And here's the bigger thing that's going to be interesting for this race. It's not like it's a Chelsea, a Tottenham, or an Arsenal, or a Man City that are playing in the Europa League. It's Sunderland, Crystal Palace, and Bournemouth. They're all selling players. So there's no guarantee that England gets the coefficient this year. So it might just really be a top 4 race. And if you're telling me that Rice walks in with this injury, I mean, we've said it on how many streams together. He's been limping since December. Yep. He's been limping around the field since December, gassed. So if you lose Rice for 2.5, 3 months, do you really trust Zubimendi being the backup 6 for that long to be the main starter? So it's a very big concern. And, even so, I don't think we win, because it's only been 3 times that someone's gone back to back in the Premier League era. So I don't know. I'm
yeah,
not
I mean,
right now
yeah, I mean,
do that.
yeah, we definitely need players.
Yeah,
And we need to be. I know Bert has his way, of doing things in sort of like before. He's not just going to go out and buy. He's going to make sure that he's lining up the players that potentially he's going to sign. Sound them out, see what they're saying, and then you kind of saw that last season where we had a whole. I mean, the Eze one. I mean, we all thought he was going to Tottenham, and then just out the blue, bang. You know what I mean? You got the old gazumping thing going on now.
Yeah.
I mean, Newcastle have lost out on that player. Is it Munez? Is it the one that from Osasuna? Liverpool.
Yeah, Munoz.
Munoz.
But he's gone to Liverpool, right? He's gone to Liverpool.
He went to Liverpool.
Yeah, he's gone to Liverpool. Yeah, 30 odd. I think it's 30 odd million pounds or 30 odd million euros or whatever. And now you have another situation. Chelsea, and this is one I want to get Gianni's sort of thoughts on, because obviously Italian, coming from Italian league, Chelsea hijacked Inter Milan's move for Marco Palestra. I've not seen much of him, so I'm not going to say I have. But just what are your thoughts on him? And is it a player? I was sort of talking to you backstage and on the Insta. Is it a player that Arsenal should have been looking at, because he can play? I think predominantly he's a right back, right wing back, attacking wing back, and I think he got he got the best. I think he got in the Italian league. He got the best. What was it? Defender thingy. Some award or whatever. I was reading. I'm not too sure.
He was one of the best. He was one of the best fullbacks in the league last year in the Serie A, both defensively and offensively.
Yeah.
The kid's got a hell of a lot of potential. The other thing is he can play with his left foot. He can play on both sides.
I did see that on transfer thingy that he can play. I mean, majority of his time he's played at right wing. I think 30 odd times, and right back he's played about 3 times. The left side he's been very minimal, but he can play both sides.
The kid's quality.
And he's quick. Yeah.
The kid is he's real fast. He's really, really fast. No, this kid's a quality player. I'm just going to reiterate what I said yesterday. I don't understand how Chelsea operates as a club. I really don't, because you know what it is, right? I'm looking at it.
They've had all these sanctions, and
besides the sanctions, just look at it from a business. Just look at it from a business perspective. If this whole new model at Chelsea is we're going to buy young players, develop them, and sell them off for massive profits, you bought this kid for $55 million. First of all, the kid has not played at a big team in Italy. The kid's coming from Cagliari.
Yeah, he was on loan to them, wasn't he? Yeah.
It's not like he was playing for AC Milan, Inter, Juve, Milan, or Napoli like that and earned his trade there. He's playing for a lower tier team. So once again, you're buying a young kid with little experience when they need experienced players to help the youngsters that they have at Chelsea.
Is he going to be another flip? Is he going to be another flip candidate?
Probably, but here's the question though, when you look at it. When you're buying players for $55 million at 21 years old and you're trying to make a profit, there's only 8 teams that you can sell to. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you were buying Palestra for $10 million, okay, I get it. You were able to get a deal for him and you're going to be able to maximize the profit. But like when you look at all these young players, that Jamie Gittins or anybody else we want to talk about, you're buying these players for 30, 40 million. Who are you going to sell to? You're basically saying that you want to develop players to go and either make Manchester United, Arsenal, and Liverpool or City better, or you want to sell them to Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, or PSG. Those are the only 8 teams in the world that can afford something like that. It makes no sense that Chelsea's trying to buy young players, develop them, but then you're gonna cancel out 99% of the rest of the market because of what you're doing on spending. This makes absolutely no business, let alone a football club. No business would ever do that, to where we're going to take high risk and the only reward is the 0.5%. And I just don't get how Chelsea operates as a club in this fashion. Now, the only other thing that this tells me is that Gusto is going to be gone. Because
where's he likely to go? Is he been linked? Is he been linked with?
I could see Gusto going to PSG to be the backup for Hakimi because they play.
Oh yeah.
He's nowhere near as good as Hakimi, but they both try to play that same
it's a good shot,
bomb forward and everything else. Or I could see him going to if Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to get pushed out by Jose Mourinho at Madrid, I could see him going to Madrid to be the long.
Where does Trent go? Where does Trent go now? I mean, is he coming back home or what's going on there?
I don't know. You'd have to ask a Liverpool fan that, because from an outsider's perspective, I don't know if he could go back to Liverpool the way that they were talking crazy about him.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, Palestra is a very good player. 55 million, I think, is absolutely insane. To be paying that much for this young kid when he has not played at a top level. Cagliari is a team that has just been fighting to stay in the Serie A. They're not a team that's contending for the lower European sides or anything else. So again, potential-wise, because he's so young, great potential, looks really good, but the price tag, just don't understand why it's that much money.
If in a situation, if say Ben White got sold, we obviously got Timber. I mean, we don't know if Timber will last the whole season or what would the injuries carrying. Would as you said, would it be somebody that if he was available, you would have him as a backup?
I would take him over Calafiori.
I mean, and the fact that, and he's probably an Arteta kind of player anyway, because he's a utility player. He can play either side. Yeah. I think, I mean, listen, as much as we grill Arteta and do him in, well, I think we're justified with what we say, but people may not agree. But he'll probably turn him into even better defender.
Yes,
and that. But I think going to Chelsea with the young players that they've got as well, that what I mean, he's saying coming from a team where he was on loan, and he's back at Atalanta. I just think that that price tag, if it doesn't work out, a year down the road, he's probably going to be flipped and sold them for profit. I don't know how Chelsea do it, but they seem to know how to do it. We
were talking about this yesterday on DJ's show. Like Elliot Anderson for 120 million is absolutely ridiculous. The guy ain't worth that much. He's not worth that much. He's just not.
Yeah. And that's what they're holding. You have to remember, this Forest manager is a gangster.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Marinakis.
Yeah. Because you have to remember, with Gibbs White, they reckon that Gibbs White was under duress to sign that contract allegedly. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to get nobody sued yet. But that was what was coming out of the camp. You remember, Norm, when we spoke about it on one of the shows. And so you look at these literally every midfielder that's supposed to be getting a move is totally overpriced. Whether we say Man United tax, well, everyone that we've looked at allegedly is insane. It's like you're looking at 85 million upwards, and they haven't won anything. So I don't get that. You've not played in Champions League. You've not won an FA Cup. You've not won a league. You've not won a Carabao Cup. But you're worth 85 million. How?
I don't get it.
And to what Johnny was saying about us and the debt, the Man United debt. Yeah, it is 100. They've added 125 million to the long-term debt. So this is the debt from 21 years ago. Now the way they've refinanced it. So that previous rate was at 3.79%. This new rate is at 5.36%. Right? So these Glazers, like, even if they're not taking dividends, they're not spending their own money. Now, a lot of people say this is how the rich stay rich. They borrow from the bank and whatever. Whenever they got a call in part of the debt, they find a way. So Jim came in and bailed them out, as you guys know. He gave them money to pay interest on what have you. But the actual, that lump sum, what is it now? They say, you go, following the refinancing, the club's total financial debt stands at 7.28 million pounds sterling, Norms. What are we doing here? It's ridiculous.
It stands at what, sorry? It stands at what, sorry, D?
728 million pounds sterling, Norms. So this is where I want the UK government to step in and say, actually, enough's enough here. You bought a debt-free club.
Look at 5%. What's the other thing you have to factor into that?
5.35%.
5.3% interest rate, and across how many years now? It's been 21 years.
21 years.
I mean,
21 years. And they add to the debt that they put on the club. You bought a debt-free club, and you've added to that debt year by year by year, and you keep taking money out of the club. You're not investing. That's why when it came out about we bought the land, which is literally, they reckon about 350 meters away from Old Trafford, going
that's right,
northwesty. And I'm like, okay, where did that money come from? Especially if we need a transfer window of at least 3 new midfielders if Agati goes. So if Agati goes, we need 3 midfielders now. Where's that money coming from? So that 120, so I'm led to believe that we've got 125 plus maybe another 50 mil max. Come on, man. Midfielders are going for 85 million. Obviously, they're all.
I mean, we're linked with Scott and yourselves as well. But the price tag that Bournemouth are looking at is like £80 million. But it seems as good. I mean, with Arsenal, I mean, because we're linked with so many people. Morgan Rogers, people are saying that Aston Villa not willing to sell him. But look, I think Aston Villa has to sell. It's crazy with the PSR. Yeah,
money talks.
Money. That's what I'm trying to say. I think you're probably going to look at about 100 mil for Morgan Rogers. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to go back to Wenger. Wenger was finding gems in the French league. We need to start looking at the French league now. Allow these English players. That's what I think. Go to the French league.
We ain't got no French players, have we?
Outside of Saliba, no.
They're
talking
about in terms of I mean, Arteta hasn't bought any French players because that was bought under Unai. Yeah, that was bought under.
But you have to remember, right? If you look at the French team, just look at that French team. The French team, they've always got mans them. Like, I'm sure if the club went to Saliba and said, "Your French guys back in that league there, like your brethren or friends of friends, recommend a player, recommend a midfielder, recommend a right back that we can go look at." Because this is what Wenger was doing. And then they come to the league like, where did he find this brother? 5 million and madness like that. You're like, seriously? Now he's starting 11 every week. And so I'm looking at this. I'm telling you now, if the big teams start going away from these West Hams and all that, trying to mug us all off, they're stuck with them players that don't want to be there, Norms. How's that going to work out for them? Not very good. Because if those players that want to move, they all want to move, Talani, all of them, they want to move for Champions League football. You know what I mean? So they already want to go to Champions League teams anyway. Otherwise, there's no point moving. But if all the teams in Champions League refuse to pay those fees, it forces their hands. Because if you get to the last week of the season and they're all stuck with them midfielders that all want out, including the Brighton kid, the one that we were linked with before, but Baleba, including Baleba from Brighton. Because you remember, to my understanding, United promised they were going to go back for him this summer after what went on. So he's already got his head turned by United. So if he doesn't get a move, I'm not saying necessarily to United, but all them players now they've been pushed out there by their agents, they all want to go, Norm. Now, do you put a transfer request in and lose that fee? And the club, because this is what I'm doing, I'm saying to them, put the transfer request in. We'll sort you out the other end. Rather than, and you forced to move, okay, you're going to get booed by the fans. So what? You're not the first person to get booed by a fan base when you make a move. But the truth is, it's ruined this whole 85 million upwards norm for a midfielder. That's one nothing is ridiculous. All of it. Yeah. Because what? You pay that money, Norms, you've got to put him on at least 220 a week, or thereabouts.
More than that.
Well, wow.
Averages on £280,000.
Yeah, I was going to say about our wage.
You got to pay these guys way more money than that now with all the stupidity that we've had.
And the problem with us is trying to. The thing is, DJB was saying it yesterday is that he needs to see players going out. The problem is that the players that we want to see going out with the money that they're on, we're going to probably struggle to get rid of them. Do you know what I mean?
Rashford,
and it's
Rashford, Norm.
I know. Yeah,
Rashford.
Yeah. He's been linked with Tottenham. You know what I mean? They're talking about Tottenham. Talking about Tottenham. They've signed another player now. I think this is the fourth player now and they're signing another free transfer. I think what De Zerbi's trying to do is just make sure they don't go down next season.
Exactly. Shore it up.
You know what I mean?
Shore it up.
But I think they still need more in terms of the midfield and in the attack. But at least he's trying to sort out the defensive side of it and that. So look, they're moving. It looks like they're backing him.
I think they'll be mid-table.
You know what I mean?
Spurs. I think Spurs go mid-table this
year. Mid-table, yeah. I think they need to do more. You know what I mean? And I think I saw something on some Twitter. No, it was on Sky, and they were talking about like how they see the teams doing, and some crazy Tottenham guy thought they're going to win the league, and with the players that they're bringing in, it's like I nearly threw up. Good judge. You know what I mean? I nearly threw up, mate. You know what I'm saying? What are they on, bro? You're not going to smoking something, man. You know,
you got a better chance of Cape Verde winning the World Cup than Tottenham winning the league.
You know what I mean? Crazy, man. But yeah, you can see Dubravka is gone there on a free. He's 37 years old. He was with Burnley. And one time, I mean, he was a sought after keeper.
Keeper,
37.
He was with Newcastle for a while.
Yeah, that's right. Newcastle. Right. And then he was at Man United.
Yeah, that stint, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, Vicario, I don't know what's going to happen with him.
It sounds like he's going to either Inter or Napoli.
So do you think that they're going with this guy as their first choice because he's got experience in the Premier League, or do you think they're still going and get another goalkeeper?
I think they're going to go with their young kid behind.
I know. I think
they may go with their young kid that was behind Vicario for the team if they're gonna go. Spurs, it is what it is with that team. Like I said, I only think they're getting mid-table because I think Bournemouth, Brighton, Sunderland, and what's the other one? Crystal Palace. I think they're all going to get a rude awakening with European football this year.
Yeah.
I think all those teams. I'm trying to look at Newcastle. As good as the starting 11 that Newcastle has, whenever they go into Europe, they go from 4th to 14th overnight.
Yeah. And we've seen obviously last season. I think they ended up. Where did they finish? Was it
13th, 13th or something like that?
Yeah. But I don't know what the future is for Eddie Howe. I don't know what his future, and they lose. You know, they seem to be losing players. You know, he'll be gone. Yeah.
This is his last. I'll be shocked if he makes it through the full year with Newcastle. If I'm
fair enough.
I think when you look at it, and the funny thing is with Newcastle is not a selling club like what you've seen historically with Bournemouth. Bournemouth's trying a fire sale because they know they're going to get this European football, cash out from there, and then maybe see if they can revamp their team again with this new manager. It'll be the same thing with Brighton. It'll be the same thing with Sunderland. And Palace, I mean, the guy that they got from France, he's performed well in France, but is a different ball game now coming into the Premier League. So we're going to have to see if that translates because, if Palace loses like Wharton or Lacroix or that Tyreek Mitchell, I don't think Palace is staying around for a European spot again either, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. We'll see what happens there. But look, this is the last thing I just want to do because it's my missus' birthday today. And my son just texted me and said, what time he says, make sure you're ready when we get back. We're going out for mum's birthday. I said, what time is that? He goes, in 10 to 15 minutes. So, bro, I'm going to just finish with this one. It's going to be, I'm going to be a little bit biased here. And it's obviously the Premier League fixtures for 2026-27. But because there's 2 Arsenal fans on here, you're just going to have the whole bench, yeah?
That's all right, mate.
You're going to have the whole bench. We will probably come back to this next week. But I just want to just sort of focus on Arsenal's first few games. And obviously, we are the defending champions, and we do have to take on our first game of the season, which will be against Coventry at home on a Friday night. Is that normally the thing now? The defending champions open up on a Friday night. I think that's the thing now, isn't it? Yeah,
like the curtain.
I think so. Yeah.
Just looking at that, guys. Obviously, the fixtures came out on Friday. Just quickly say, the people are saying that Man United have probably got a tough start being away to Hull. That's the first game away, Hull.
And it's a 12:30 kickoff on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Just to mess with us, isn't it? just to mess
These
with
are really
Michael.
these really making the excuses. Yeah.
Nah, I'm saying they're just trying to mess with Michael already. You know what I mean?
But
Because you get
listen,
that spotlight game on a Saturday.
yeah.
Lunchtime,
So I mean, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. August, tough. You know, after the second game, you know, we're looking at Aston Villa away. That's a tough game. I think that Coventry game. Look, it's going to be at the Emirates. You know, we should win that game, but then we are away to Aston Villa. The only thing with that, the situation with the Morgan Rogers thing, because people have been saying that if you know we do get him, will Aston Villa let him go before we play them? Do you know what I mean? So, what just quickly, what are your thoughts on like you know the couple of opening fixtures? We got home in September, home to Chelsea, away to Sunderland, and then away to Brighton.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it because, like I said, I think we're going to be beating these teams. My only concern with this is that with Villa and Chelsea being the second and third game, you know, we were talking earlier about you're going to have to rest some of the guys that went to the World Cup. Are you risking playing those games without a Rice and Saka? Yeah. You know, that's pretty much the worry. I mean, obviously, you have the break, you have the quick little break there, but listen, for me, I think at the end of the day, we should be beating these teams. We should be beating Chelsea. Sunderland, I do not want to see the same BS that happened last year when we went away to Sunderland. Villa, Villa, I'm going to be quite honest with you. Even if they sell Morgan Rogers, there's been rumors going around that Villa's going to give Emery another 80 to 100 million to invest in the team. If they end up selling Rogers for big money, they may give him more. I would not, with the landscape of what's going on in the Premier League, I would not be snoozing on Aston Villa. I don't necessarily think that they will be in a title race, like going to the end of the day, but I do think Villa's going to be hanging around like they did last year and probably a little bit longer. You know, I just feel that if they get that kid Guirassy from Dortmund, who's a much better striker than Ollie Watkins is, you know, Watkins, he finished the season with 16 goals. He should have had about 30. With the amount of goals that he missed, especially just in the two Arsenal games he had against us. I'm a little weary of Villa possibly moving up the ladder in this top four race. But again, I think this is all going to come down to the injuries. You know, if we're walking into this season where Rice is injured, we're right. Really, I'm just going to leave it at where Rice and Saliba are hurt. We got problems. And it doesn't matter who we play. You know, the biggest thing for this season is Arteta needs to learn to start rotations. If you don't rotate players this year, coming off the back of a shortened what's it called, preseason, because of the World Cup, I'm sorry, you're going to get a rude awakening. And like I said, you may not get lucky with that coefficient this year with the teams that are in the other European competition. So this may just come down to an old school straight up top four race. And if we fall behind early, what have we seen throughout the years? The teams that have won these last few Premier Leagues are the teams that are most consistent shooting out of the gate. The first 15, 20 games of the season is what sets the precedent of being consistent. You saw Liverpool shot out of the gate, stayed consistent, and just coasted the whole way through. We were trying to shoot ourselves in the foot, but because we had that gap the whole time, that's what really helped us out with how we went through the first 20 games. If we're struggling in the first 20 games because of injuries, we're not repeating.
So just quickly, because I think they've just pulled up. I just see the thing. I just want to just quickly finish on this. Just quickly. Okay, so the rotation is really important, and I get all of that. The style of play is another thing for me.
Yes.
Now,
yes,
I need to see that happen. Chances are, is Arteta going to do that? I just don't know if he is. If he does the rotation but doesn't change his style of play,
no,
I just don't think it's going to be enough. I think he you know, teams now are going to play with all the new rules coming in. You know, the 5-second rule with the throw-ins. You know, even like last night, Shane talked about it as well. You know, them crossing in the ball now. You're seeing out swingers as opposed to in swingers. You've seen that a lot in the World Cup. Because there's not all that grappling in the box. You're not seeing that as much as like you see in the Premier League. So these are going to be all of these things that are going to affect Arsenal. Yes, to other teams in the Premier League it will affect them, but I think predominantly for us, it's probably going to affect us more. So one, with the players that he's going to get in, who they're going to get in, we don't know. We're linked with Bicola. We're linked with it's all off. We're linked with the Leicester guy. I mean, obviously he's going to be one that we'll probably send out on loan. Morgan Rogers, as we say, I don't think we're going to see anything in the strikers department. I think he's going to stick with Kai Havertz and Gokres. I think he will start Kai Havertz. I think Kai Havertz is having his pre-season now. That's what it looks like. In defence, as I said, we're going to need, if Ben White goes, we're going to need a right back. I think
we need another center back and right back. We need another center back. We can't go into next season with just Mosquera as the rotation center back. Yeah. We need another one. We need another right back. And we legitimately need a midfielder.
Yeah.
We need a center back. We need a right back, and we need 2 left wingers. We need 5 signings at least.
Yeah.
And that's even without who we're going to have to sell. But the thing for me is, as well as rotation and style of play, the kids need to get minutes.
Yeah.
Alman needs to get minutes this year.
Yeah.
Ethan Wanyeri should not be sent on loan or sold again. He needs
That's my worry about Ethan, whether they're going to look at it as poor profit and sell him, because he obviously is not featured under Arteta.
Well, and that's my point. Imagine you sell him, because he was linked to them at the end of the season last year when he was coming back from loan. Imagine if Unai Emery gets his hands on Ethan Wanyeri, what he could potentially do with them, with what he's done with them other young midfielders at Villa. Right. I don't want to see that. You need them 3 young kids to put in some serious minutes. And me personally, if you're not going to spend the $80 million on Tonali, I'm not going to get mad at it. Use that $80 million to go get you a left winger, but you need to let Skelly be the starting midfielder coming into this season. I do not want to see Zubimendi and Rice starting again next year. Not that nonsense.
Yeah.
But look, it's weird that banging. That's my son. he's ready to go. He ain't got no. Listen, I'll tell you what. That generation. I'll tell you what. He's your god. He's a godson, man. When you see him next year, I need you to grab him up and fist him up. Yeah. Oh, sorry. You know what I mean? But I mean, not fist him up like that. You know, fix him up. I mean, you know,
rough him up, man.
Arm around the neck and say hello, son. You know, I mean, give us some of that. Have some of that. But listen, people. Listen, thank you. I know there's the game on and there's other people streaming and that. Big up, Gianni. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate coming on. You bring so much, you know, your knowledge of football.
Yeah, man.
You're an encyclopedia when it comes to football. And so I'm learning all the time. You know, my memory, brother, I can't remember next week or last week, should I say. So, but for the way you remember things is I've got to write things down. You know what I mean? They keep going on. You know? So big up to you. Your retention is wicked. And Big D, thank you again for your time, you know, just coming back, you know what I mean, recovering and stuff like that. But it's good to have you on the show and everything. Next week, we go again. Obviously, you know, it'll be the game 3. We'll see who the majority of people will have gone through to the last 32 and then obviously the last 8. So next week, we'll see who's done what. We'll see if there's any movement for Arsenal in the transfer window. I think at the moment, it's still quiet. Burton's probably just doing his thing in the background. We'll see what happens. Man United, again, same sort of thing. You know, we just have to watch the screen. Listen, until
England
I see...
better win. England better
win. That's it. England better win. That's going to be... That's the next watch along we're going to be doing. Yeah,
England does not want to be playing the United States in the knockout round for the
4th of July.
You don't want that.
It's not going to be Independence Day. It's going to be Judgment Day. But people, thank you, people, for the chat. Thank you for staying with us. Really appreciate it. Listen, we're out here. We're back next week. Listen, take care. Subscribe and share if you're new.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next What's Going On podcast. Take care.
Take care, guys.
God bless.